All right, everyone. Welcome to another edition of In Tune with T Mill. I'm your host, T Mill, live from the Rocket City, and got to fix my headphones because I hear all that feedback in my ears, man. It's crazy. We are live on Facebook for you guys that are watching live, and for those of y'all that are listening from wherever you're listening from, you may be listening on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Spreaker, all the different sites. No matter where you're listening from, we appreciate them all the same. All right. Tonight, on this episode, we're going to be talking to a gentleman that is definitely changing the status quo. And every episode of this show, I want to focus on the people that are doing things a little bit different and that are consistent. You know, it's great to do things. You know, something that you did yesterday that was great, but can you do it tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day? But for someone such as our guest tonight that is consistently driving the lifestyle, the culture, the business, the commerce, the community, you know, for so long, I don't really know of too many people that can sustain this amount of consistency, and to do it with a level of integrity that he has maintained over the years. So we're talking to the general manager of operations at Envy Entertainment and Restaurant. You've seen his name all over the place. You've seen him all over the city. Man, this man's been 10 toes down for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today, Mr. Sam Johnson. What's going on, man?
Thank you for the kind words, man.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you for the kind words.
Man, I'm trying to be like you when I grow up, man. Real talk.
It's rough out here, man. I'm tell you the truth. It's rough.
So man, you know, for those that don't know, you know, you were born in Dayton, Dayton, Ohio, man. And my mother, she's from Ohio as well, and from Ohio to, you know, being here in Alabama, what would you say is maybe the biggest thing that sticks out as a difference, you know, between from being home and now that you've been in Alabama for a minute? What would you say is one of the biggest differences?
Well, first of all, I think the biggest difference that I would say between Ohio and Alabama is I left my family in Ohio. You know, I probably don't have a blood relative within 6 hours in all directions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I kind of had to recreate my family here. Which is a great thing because I had an opportunity to meet a lot of people, a lot of people that would fight you if you said that's not my brother, that's not my son, you know what I'm saying? Or,
yeah.
You know, or that's not my sister. You know what I'm saying? They have a serious problem with you.
Yeah.
And so, but that's been a blessing for me. You know, and that's the biggest thing, having to start from scratch and meet everybody and you know, kind of get it off the ground.
Okay. Now, you know, you're a graduate of at Oakwood. I didn't know that, man.
Yeah. A lot of things.
Man, so, you know, what did you take at Oakwood?
Believe this or not, telecom.
Okay.
And it was at the time of Oakwood College, and it was electronic media. And when our department and it was so crazy, is that at the time the communications department fell under the English department. So it wasn't even, you know, it was so new.
Yeah.
They didn't even have.
They didn't know where to put it.
Yeah, it was under the English department. You know what I'm saying? So some of my
it says communication, so we're gonna put it under English.
So some of my professors and everything were English teachers, you know, and so after a while, you know, we kind of branched out and we developed electronic media, which was film and multimedia and things like that. So I actually studied film and radio and TV.
So why telecom? You know, what brought you to that interest?
True story. Okay, so I.
You know when somebody says true story, it's gonna be
story,
good.
Man, true story. So I was in private school. You know, I was in Havana school, probably through like the 7th or 8th grade. And
Is this at Oakwood or?
No,
or
this was in Ohio.
In Ohio,
Valley
right.
Academy, yeah. And the only way I could get from sitting next to my mom in church was to go upstairs and work with the sound guy. That's how I got from under mom. You know, that's how I got some freedom. You know, I was the only kid that didn't have to sit with their parent in church because I was working with the sound guy. You know,
That's what I'm talking
and then from there, you know, it kind of picked on, and I'm like, well, hey, well, if this can get me from next to mom at church, maybe this can get me out of private school. You know, and it just so happened that the public school had a TV and a radio magnet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm like, Mom, you know, I want to go to this TV program and their radio and their this and their that.
Yeah.
And she bought it, man, and it got me into public school my last 3 years of high school.
Wow.
Yeah, and it just kind of, but a love developed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you just said, you know, the creativity, being able to create it, and you know, a passion did develop for a while. And,
well,
that's what brought me here.
Because one of the things I think is you notice someone's passion by, you know, the amount of work that they put into it and how long you see them doing it versus it being a fad. And not that there's nothing wrong with that, because we have to do these things in order to know what we like, what we don't like, and where our strengths are. We may want to create something and then find out we have a strength in something else. So by you doing that, you know, you were able to find that ability to create and sort of, you know what I'm saying, produce experiences. So whenever I think of your name and the things that you do, and people that are in the same field, I think of experiences by being able to not necessarily bring people to a club or, you know, make an event, but to create an experience. And so what you do and what you do well is create an experience. And by that, I mean from the front door to your staff, to the people that you work with, to the guest or whoever is in the building for that night. It's an experience. And so let's talk a little bit about sort of, you know, because we're talking about entertainment and we're talking about building experiences. And so with you, you know, doing your thing at all these different clubs, what was the first club that you started out at?
Actually, you know, believe this or not, you know, that we're gonna take a big leap here, because, you know, I started out not even a nightclub, a bar was the furthest thing from my mind. You know, never had a dream, a vision. This is what I wanted to do. I didn't even take my first drink until I was, probably like my second year of college, before I had even had a drink. So this was a whole new experience to me, you know. And I met a wonderful person, my mentor, you know, who made me fall in love, not with the business, but with the people. You know?
Okay.
And he helped me to understand that the nightclub business isn't about the club, but it's about the relationships that you form. And it's about the friendships and the bond. And I think that's what I fell in love with. You know, I didn't fall in love with the party and the turn up and the in crowd and the VIP, but I fell in love with the people that I get to hang out with 2 or 3 days a week. You know, like I said, you know, Tim, I had to create my family.
Yeah, right.
You know, and not knowing anybody, when I came here, I had an opportunity through this business to build a lot of awesome friendships. You know, a lot of relationships. You know, and so that's what drew me into this business, and that's what got me here. You know, it wasn't. You know, clubs are 4-letter word.
Right.
You know, it is. You know, and you know, you ask anybody nowadays, the first thing they'll say is, "I don't club." Oh man, I don't go to the club. Man, I'm too old. I don't club. Man, club is for kids. You know, so you know, if I could get rid of the word club, I would. You know, to me, it's not about the club. You know, clubs aren't safe. You know, clubs are dark. Clubs are smoke filled. You know, that's not my thing, man. You know, it's about the relationships. It's about having a place where we can come down and have a beer, and you know, we have our own little beer summit, 2 or 3 times a week. Right. You know what I'm saying? And just in fellowship.
And the place to fellowship, and that's a strong word, you know, that describes it perfectly. Because again, what else do people do? They talk to each other, they socialize. You know, they come for the food, or they come. Speaking of the food, you guys, I don't know if y'all saw, but I just got my wings delivered. I mean, you know, y'all can check that out. You know, I'm gonna share with y'all. You know, check the wings out, man. But you know, they come, and there's a lot of business that is held and gets done at clubs. There's a lot of friendships that get created. You meet new people. Some of y'all met your husband or your wife, you know, at a spot. And so there's a lot of great, fellowship is a perfect word. I think of places like this with the same intent or the same ideal as a barbershop or as a church, to where, again, it's a place where people congregate. They talk amongst each other, things get done, and they meet people or they have different experiences, and to see how those experiences affect them. So I think that's fellowship. I think is a great word to explain it. So you guys that are watching on Facebook Live, if y'all got any questions, make sure y'all drop the questions in the chat room. And for those of y'all that are listening on Spreaker or iTunes or wherever you're listening from, make sure you drop a comment, and we will definitely ask those questions and get them to our guests. Now, one thing, I usually start off the show with my same spill, so to speak, or the same introduction, so to speak. But man, this weather, me and Marcus were talking before the beginning of the show, man, and this weather been so back and forth, man. It's been like I don't know, like some of these fellas trying to figure out if they're gonna get married or not. It's just been back and forth. So my head is still not right, with all this weather, man. So, but Wings are gonna fix that. I was telling Marcus before. Now he thought it might not be, but I'm gonna tell y'all, this is my formula. Wings, I've got a whole lot of nasal congestion, but for me, Wings clear up that congestion. I don't know about anybody else. What they do, NyQuil, Dayquil, whatever, nasal strips and everything, Wings do it for me. Once I get done with these Wings, I'm good. You let all that stuff just do its thing, man. And that's my. If I was a doctor, I would prescribe you some Wings to get your nasal passages cleared up.
You would be the only doctor in the world that ever prescribe Wings to somebody, right?
Right. So, but again, I wanted to also, big shout out to the crew, man, and shout out to Marcus Sims. Marcus Sims is on the camera today. Our show producer is in Maryland doing the Idea Fit for this weekend. So make sure you guys are following Miss JQ. Book her for your events, but she's out there. And then Vonda, Miss Vonda, we're gonna have to send her some. We might have to send her some Wings to help her get over this cold, man, and over there. But Vonda, we send you our best wishes, man, for you to get better, man. So I have to do this with the crew because I can't do this alone. Definitely got to bring in some professionals, man. Now I think one of the other things that's great for kids or just for life experiences and creating networking experiences is sororities and fraternities. And I think that they sort of, again, build that foundation for, again, either creating a family that you didn't have or getting to a place to where you can make lasting relationships, and people that you may have met in college, and then 20 years from now, you still know some of those people or can call on some of those people. What was, throughout college and then throughout, your fraternity years, what was your favorite, if you had to narrow it down to one, what would be that favorite experience or favorite memory that you can sit down right now and think about it, you're like, man, that was it was a good time, or just something, being through that and going through a fraternity and in college and whatnot. What was that great experience for you?
I'm gonna tell you, probably one of the greatest experiences. Oh, wow, there's so many. I remember a couple of different organizations. Wow, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of firsts happened, with my fraternity brothers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my first things and first experiences in life happened. And you know what? And it was really good. Let me tell you, the fraternal organizations were really good to me because, again, and I can't stress it enough, they helped me to create who I am today. And I believe a person is defined a lot by whom they associate with.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they provided me with an opportunity to really meet some great people, all the way from, when I pledged the Gamma Psi Gamma Fraternity Incorporated, which is a community service fraternity at Oakwood, during a time when Oakwood sororities and fraternities were banned on campus.
Yeah.
And so not only, was I pledging, but we were pledging what they call underground. Under the guise of, I guess I'm spilling the beans now. Under the guise of, if you got caught pledging, you were kicked out of school, you know what I'm saying? So we spent many nights, man, out, doing God knows whatever we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it built some bonds. You know, with guys that I'm still like this with today. You know, I don't see them every day because, like I said, most of them have now left and have gone all over the world. You know,
but that's the definition of a true friendship or a true brothers or true sisters. That I'm pretty sure you can see these guys. You haven't seen some of these people in 10, maybe even 15 years, but you see them today. They walk in and it's just like, you know what I'm saying, like y'all never left. You know what I'm saying? Like things are still good. Y'all still talk about good times. Whatever you need from that person, you know what I'm saying?
Just like we were just standing at the Rock Quarry side by side last night. Yeah. I mean, when we look at each other, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, you gonna drop tonight? Nah, man, I ain't dropping, man. This your last night? Nah, this not my last night, man. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was a really good experience. You know, just the whole pledging process. You know. You know, that's where I learned the poem "Don't Quit." You know, I learned that online. You know, and it seems like kind of odd that you would take something like that from an experience like that, but you know, that was probably, 15, 16, 17 years ago.
Wow.
You know, but that's to this day. You know, that's there. I learned it for a completely different purpose.
Yeah.
But it stuck with me in
Still
life.
there.
You know, and and so now sometimes. You know, it may be 4 o'clock in the morning, but now I'm 36 as opposed to 19. You know, but I still have to, you know, give myself that poem every now and then.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? I have to tell myself, nah, I'm not gonna quit today, man. I'm gonna get up and go back. You know, I ain't quitting today. You know, I'm gonna get up, man. I'm gonna go open up this restaurant. You know, we ain't gonna call it a club. You know, I'm gonna go open up this restaurant, man, and I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna keep going.
Man.
So, yeah, that was deep for me.
Well, and I think again that's one of the reasons why I think people should look into either organizations or no matter what it is or no matter what name you put on it, but to get out and meet people, get out and create friendships, get out and create those bonds. You know what I'm saying? To that's going to last a lifetime, and to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Be honest with people, and then 15 years down the road, you can show up at their spot. Yo, man, I need a place to crash, or you know, I need this or I need that or whatever, and that's the true definition of it. So we're at Envy. You know, tonight you guys will be recording live at the Envy Entertainment and Restaurant. Notice I didn't say club. You know what I'm saying? We're at the Envy Entertainment and Restaurant. We're normally at the Maitland Conservatory, but tonight we wanted to come over to Sam's spot. We wanted to, you know, come and hang out. You know what I'm saying? With Sam. And until Maitland gets some wings, we're going to get some wings in there, but we had to get some wings as well. But, man, there's been a lot of dope events that you've been doing, man, like just over the years, and at different spots, man, not just here, but there's been a lot of them, and y'all got to forgive me if I miss one, or you forgive me if I miss one, but more importantly, man, like the plug and play, man. Just talk about plug and play, man. Let's talk about plug and play, man.
That was.
Because that's, man, if y'all haven't heard or if y'all haven't been to plug and play, matter of fact, everybody that's listening, everybody that's watching, I want y'all to just hashtag plug and play. Just for whatever reason. Just hashtag it tonight. Just hashtag plug and play if you've been to. It doesn't matter if you have been to it. Just hashtag it because it is he's going to tell you about it. But tell us about plug and play.
And you know what's crazy? I was just talking to Mario. He was in a few weeks back, and we were sitting down just talking, hashing, you know, just trying to figure out. You know, he was asking me, "What happened to plug and play, man?"
See,
when it started, when his first question was, he said, "You must be a musician." And I'm like, "No."
Wow.
He was like, "Well, where did plug and play come from?" You know, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just thought it would be dope, you know, for me to have a platform to where musicians could just relax and come in and hang out, and everybody benefit from their creativity. Yeah, you know, I didn't think it grew so fast and so big that, you know, I backed off of it a little bit because it was becoming not kind of what I envisioned it to be. You know, so I had to think, you know, how can I, you know, I really wanted a relaxed environment where musicians could just come plug
Just
in.
jam, man.
If you got a song on your heart, you can sing. I didn't want it to be open mic
Yeah.
because, you know.
And that's what I think why it made it so unique,
Yeah.
man. Because
Not open mic. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, everybody's welcome, but at the same time, not everybody's not welcome. This is a musician's platform, you know, to where. But you know what? It's coming back. But not only is it coming back, but it's coming back with kind of a twist on it. You know, I've really been thinking, you know, how can I, you know, really make this thing different? You know, you know, they say the game is to be sold, not told. But I'm gonna tell you, you know, in order to be successful in this business, you've got to be creative and you've got to be exclusive. And I'm thinking, how in the world can I make this event exclusive? Exclusive meaning that nothing like it is happening in our market. And I've got some really great ideas that we're getting ready to put together, man. And like I said, you know, it's all about the relationships with people.
right,
You know,
right.
given whether I'm a musician, whether I'm a comedian, whether I'm a singer, or whether I'm just the guy that got off work at 5 o'clock and I'm not ready to go home yet because I'm mad at the dog.
Yeah.
You know, the dog pissed me off this morning and I'm not ready to go home yet because
Yeah.
I'm afraid of what I'm gonna do to the dog. So I'm gonna stop by and have a beer and ease my nerves.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever the case may be. you
Right,
know.
right.
So it's about giving everybody something that they can be a part of. You know what I'm saying?
And it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's again, it's a different experience. And one thing that you've done that I think makes a lot of people in this area successful at what they do is you're bold. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that the people that go out and do things that are bold or sort of against the grain, it may be looked upon at first glance as like, what is this? Yeah, what's going on? And then later, you know, if they're still doing it, it's like, oh, you know, and they kind of catch on because people want to see something different. People want to go to a different place. They want to experience something different. The whole point of going out is to escape what's at home. So if you get, you know, to the club or to wherever you're going, and it's the same thing that you can get at home, what's the point of leaving home?
Let me tell you the downfall of that though, and what I've learned is sometimes when you're different, you have to train people to understand what you're doing.
Okay.
You know, it's easy to go, we're going here Friday because that's where everybody's going. So that's where I'm going to go. But then you say, okay, well, I'm going to do this. And I might do 5 people at a time. You know, this week it may be 10 people. Next week it might be 2. Then it's 100.
Yeah.
Then we're back to 2. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to train people. You have to train people to appreciate what it is that you have to offer. You know, and one thing, and I'm gonna keep going back to it. You know, so if anybody is out there aspiring to be in this business, want to know about this business or whatever, you know, if you do not build relationships with people, consistent relationships, you don't have to sell drinks. You know, a lot of club owners, promoters, they sell you a drink. Man, VIP, pop bottles, you're a rock star, we're making a movie.
Right.
You know, you go, you spend your $200 or $300, and you wake up with a bunch of headaches and regrets. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Whereas you come here, you know, we have a few drinks, we chop it up, talk, and you leave feeling refreshed and fulfilled. And want to come back.
Right.
Every place in the city sells the same drinks. You know, one person's food may be a little better than the other, but across the board, all that's the same. You know, in reality, the consumer is better served just going to the store and buying their own and going home.
Right.
You know, in reality,
Right.
you know, dollar wise.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I want you to come here and spend 2 or 3 hours of your night with me, I've got to give you something besides
Exactly.
a drunk.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, an indigestion from eating too many hours. You know what I'm saying? I've got to give you something.
Yeah.
And the only thing I know how to give you is myself. And saying like, yo, this is the experience that I'm going to create. And I try to create experiences that I would enjoy. You know, what would I like to do? You know, I'm 36, right? I consider myself my target demographic. That's all I know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know older. I don't know younger. I never thought it would be a day when I would be like, I don't understand the young folks. I don't.
It is. It is.
I don't even like to go places. If I can't hold a conversation, I don't even like to go there because I'm gonna have questions. I want to talk.
Yeah.
But if I can't hear and the music is loud and it's this and it's smoking, and we're walking through like this, it's just not comfortable for me. Yeah. I need to be able to sip my drink on the bar. Yeah. Talk to this person and talk to that person because that's what I'm doing. I'm networking. Yeah. I'm meeting people. Yeah. I'm out and about. I'm always working. Yeah. And I feel like if I can't work, then I'm not comfortable. I can't be there. So any event that I create is with me in mind. Maybe that's selfish. I don't know, but it's with me in mind. And the sad thing is, I'm overlooked. I'm overlooked. It's either really young or it's really old. Yeah. But they don't understand that I'm the one that's working. Right. I got a job. I got a little money. Yeah. I can spend it, and I can get up and go to work in the morning and get a little more. Right. I got my future in mind, and we got to save, and eventually the kids will have to go through college. I don't have any, but one day I will, and they'll have to go through college and all that stuff. But, I've got a little disposable income, but we're overlooked, man. Everything is really old or really young. Nothing for the young professional.
And that's what you've been creating for so long. And when I say for so long, but in the sense that it's filling a void, you know what I'm saying, that's out there because everybody's got, again, a niche or what they do, so on and so forth, but that niche right there, and especially right here in Huntsville, man, as you guys know, a lot of y'all, man, are young, and, man, y'all are making moves that our parents, weren't able to make, or maybe didn't even fathom, being able to do with technology or engineering or the opportunities or coming out of college and, making the amount of money that you're making. But again, when we were talking about this before the show as well, is being able to start businesses or invest, in the community and do these different things. So not only are you providing that opportunity, for people to come in, network, and sort of shake hands, rub elbows, and talk and exchange ideas amongst each other, but to also give somebody like an idea, like, man, you know what, I want to do this, or I want to bring this, experience, or I want to, get some of my colleagues together and we just come out and hang out and do this. What I think is dope about the Plug and Play, though, to go back to that, is that I know of, there is no, where do the musicians go to hang out, to jam amongst each other, because again, just like you said, it's not an open mic to where everybody can just come in and just sing and get on the mic and do whatever. But then if you're a musician or a singer, and this is what you do, where do you go to meet and network with new musicians? Oh man, I've been needing a bass player like you, or I've been looking for somebody that sings like you, or to just be in that energy amongst each other. Just say, you know what, I just want to hear some music, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to go to the club, I want to hear some music. And so musicians can take advantage of that and be amongst, again, their demographic. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do. So where do they go to enjoy music? You know what I'm saying? That's not them. It's like, I can listen to me all day, but where do I go to hear good music? That's what I think is dope about that.
And we, as the musically challenged, we benefit from that.
Right.
Because I get to see creativity at its best. No rehearsals, it's just, hey, I'm feeling this song, I'm going to get up there and get it. Yeah. I may only sing a verse of it. I may sing the whole verse. I may get to going and Tim decides he's going to get up and sing with me. Do you see what I'm saying? If we were musicians.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That ain't going to happen. We're going to leave it to the professionals. Right.
If we were musicians.
Right.
Or I may call Tim earlier today and say, hey, man, I'm going Miami tonight, man. Hey, bring your bass. Yeah. I feel like jamming tonight. Yeah. Let's do a couple songs. You're right. Plug and Play was amazing, but just wait till we unplug Plug and Play. Yeah, that's what's coming next. Wait till we unplug Plug.
All right. Marcus, what you got, brother? I know you got any questions for us?
Yeah, man, I want to, T-Mill, first of all, I want to like just salute this brother right here, because a lot of times we don't give our roses till they done passed away and whatever. And sometimes we really got to sit here and acknowledge the folks in our community that are movers and shakers. That's the folks I roll with. I don't have time to hang out with folks who are just on the sidelines. And I want to give a shout out to this brother for real, because from day one, his spirit was good. And what I noticed was he was always on the move. Like, I don't know, like we were joking about, you getting rest or whatever. But you know what? You can sleep later on. You know what I'm saying?
I can't afford to.
Right.
Not right now.
But for real, though, I guess 2 questions. First of all, I always like to know mentors. People who did you look up to that kind of laid the foundation for what you're doing now? Who was someone that you looked up to, or people that you look up to that help you in the game that you're in? And number 2, tell everyone about something positive about what you're seeing about the young black professionals in this area, because I'm seeing so much dopeness flying this, you know what I'm saying? So tell us a little bit about, number 1, your mentors, number 2, tell us about the positive side of the young black professionals now.
I'm going to say the single most individual, or the single individual who's had the most impact on my life in the terms of the entertainment business in the industry, I would have to say is Mr. Charles Moore Sr., affectionately known as Chuck Moore. He took, and they called me College Boy, when he found me, he found me College Boy, is who he used to call me. And he took a college boy, and taught him that people are important, and taught him that activity equals income. Taught me that, don't quit. You may not always be in the most popular group. Everybody may not know your name, but they'll know your work. They may not know your name. They may not have went to school with you. I'm from Ohio. I'm from Dayton, Ohio. I don't have any cousins, any schoolmates, anything. So I'm an outsider to everybody.
Right.
So everybody that I know here, I met once I came here. And he was the single most influence. I mean, again, I had no desire to do this. And when I started, I didn't even start, my first job at Celebrities was the inventory. I worked at DirecTV for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I was a corporate guy, man. I had a tie and a desk, and I had a cubicle with my name on it, and I had my little pager. I was a corporate guy, for 10 years. And every day on my lunch, I would go to Celebrities and I would do the inventory. I'd drop it off, and I'd come back the next day. I'd do it. After about a week, we hadn't discussed any money or anything. So a week went by, and that Monday came along, and I was dropping my paperwork off, and I noticed everybody was getting paid.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey boss, got anything on the table for me? And he said, son, you got to be the dumbest. No, I ain't saying what he said. And I'm like, why you say that? He said, you done worked the whole week and you didn't even discuss what you gonna get paid. And I said, because honestly, it wasn't even about that for me, man. I'm just happy to be able to be a part of and learn. Yeah. But then we worked it out. And then I went from the inventory guy to a few years later, man, I had the keys to the building, man. And it was just, he's known the greatest to ever do it. I don't care who you are, where you are, what business, whoever. If you're in this business, you show reverence and respect to that name.
Yeah.
Not because of the amount of money he acquired through the years, not because of all the big names that may have come across his stages, but because of the relationships, man, that he built with people. Never met a stranger. Now, he was straightforward. It can't go but one way. And if it can't go that way, then we need to get away. Right? Sink or fall, I'm doing it my way. I can't let you come in, change my program, then we fail, you walk away. Can't do it. You know, can't do it. So I mean, he'd never hold a storm.
Yeah.
You know, he let you know how he felt. You know, I'm telling you, and man, it's just so many good memories. But I know, me and Boss, we never really clashed. You know what I'm saying? I probably, you know, I probably got cussed out like maybe 3 or 4 times over 6 or 7 years. You see what I'm saying? So I did really good.
Yeah.
You know, now I watched him deliver a bunch. You know, but at the end of it, it was a hug. I've never seen anybody that could tell you you're just absolutely doing it wrong. You know, what were you thinking? Do you think? Whatever the case may be, are you human? Do you have a mind? But then at the end of it, you felt as if this man loves me, man. And that's the only reason he told me that was because he loved me. You know. And so when I go back to say, when he said that, you've got to be the dumbest something.
Yeah.
I don't think he was being derogatory towards me, but he was teaching me a life lesson.
Yeah.
How are you going to go and work a week, then come back and discuss your money? Know who you are day one.
Yeah.
What I'm worth day one.
That's right.
Day one. This is who I am. This is what you expect. This is what I'm going to deliver, and this is what I'm worth. Took that, man, to this day.
That's
So
what I'm talking
now,
about.
day
That's a
one,
game,
when
yeah.
I come through the door, I'm Sam Johnson.
Yeah.
I am who I am. You know, this is what I can do. This is what it's going to cost. You know, you like it, we can make it work, we can't make it work. If you can't make it work, that's fine. I'll sell it somewhere else.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But that's a lesson that I learned day one. You know, from a simple, you know. And like I said, I mean, he the greatest to ever do it. And I had the opportunity to work under him.
And learn,
I'm
you know what I'm
filthy.
saying?
The good and the bad.
Yeah.
You know, I had the opportunity to count thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in a night. And then I had an opportunity to see it where, you know, nobody came. You know, and he would come in and take the money out of his pocket and pay everybody. And to see his employees say, "Boss, we understand it was slow. You know, man, I'm cool. I'm just going to go home early." And for him to say, "No, you show up to work, I'm going to pay you. Whether it's 100 people or one person, I'm going to pay you. Because I expect you to work. If there's one person in here, I expect you to work as if there's 100 people in here."
Right.
See, everybody doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
You know, you go to some, and I promise I'm not going to complain for the next 30 minutes, but you go into
It's all
places,
good.
I go into places, man, and for instance, there's a DJ, you know, and there may be 5 people in there, 5 people in there. And the DJ, you know, they're in the thing, they're doing this, or they're at the bar talking this and this and this. And I'm just like, boy, if Chuck was alive. If Chuck, but you know what, though, I am that. I am him.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know, I am him.
Yep.
You know, I'm him in that I understand that if there's 5 people in here, you've got to give it 100%.
Yeah.
Or else them 5 might leave. And now
Right.
we got nobody.
Right.
Yeah, but everybody don't see it that way. That's different. You know, and the single most personal influence, man, in my life was him. I owe it to him. You know, he did, listen, man, he did some things for me that made me who I am today. You know, now I worked for it.
Yeah.
Don't ever be confused.
Yeah.
I worked for it. And anybody that will tell you the truth will tell you that I worked for it. I worked for it. I earned it. And stand by it. And you can't take it from me.
That's what's
If
up.
it was given to me, it could be taken.
Yeah.
But you can't take something somebody worked for. That would mean you would have to outwork me. It's not going to happen.
It's not gonna happen.
All right.
It's not gonna happen. You know, you have to outwork me to get it. You know what I'm saying? They say maybe that's not good for your health or whatever. And I understand that, but you know, he taught me. You know.
Yeah,
See,
man.
the most important thing about this business is relationships, which goes back to your question to young professionals in the community. One awesome thing that I see that's finally starting to happen is I believe that we're starting to understand and realize that we're greater together, man.
Yep.
You know, we're greater together, you know. And I don't think we realize how much power we have, you know, as young black professionals.
Sticking together.
Remember Al-Azhar Shrine Temple, and had the opportunity of working with a mentoring program. Now, check this out.
All right.
The mentoring program was called SAM. Shriners as Mentors.
Right.
Now, I can't help that it just happened to be Sam and I'm Sam. You know, but when we were working on putting this thing together, it just worked. The SAMS program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was Shriners as Mentors. And what we did was we went into the schools, Terry Heights and Mountview Elementary at the time. I think Mountview was, I don't know if it's still, I think it got closed or got merged.
No, we were just talking. What we talking about? We were just talking about Mountview.
It's
It's still open.
Okay, all right. But those are two schools that we were working with, man, and we had an opportunity just to go in and spend at least 6 or 7 hours a week, you know, working in those programs. And one of the things that the kids always found interesting is everybody would talk about, you know, what do you do? And one guy would say, well, I work at Redstone Arsenal and I'm this, and it got to be my turn.
Yeah.
And they're like, what do you do? I'm like, well, I'm the guy that runs the nightclub.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah. Now this is the kicker. They're like, well, what club you got? And I'm like, I got Celebrities. Well, my grandma go to Celebrities. I'm like, yeah, well, there it is. You know what I'm saying? I got your grandma's nightclub. That's what it was. So, but you know what? But they always looked up to that, you know. And I don't know if it was for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, but you know, even then, you know, it was always the same thing. You know, whatever we're gonna do, we have to learn that we have to work together, and we have to work hard at it.
I mean, because people act like there's not enough money, like the money's gonna run out, or you know that that can only be so many people. You know what I'm saying, to do it. But there's so many opportunities and so many. Again, there's an opportunity for everybody to win if, you know what I'm saying, they stick together, stick to the plan, and again provide that experience and service. Because again, I think when people, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not the professional in this sense, but this is a service industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that people come here and, because you know how we all been in those places where you walk in and everybody's acting like, you know, you're supposed to be there, like you have to be there. And it's like, I'm coming here to be served, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm coming here to, you know, to experience something, and they act like they may be doing you a favor, as opposed to the places where you walk in and you might not have $1 in your pocket, but they make you feel like $1 million. And you're like, you know what? I got to go back there. One
thing I can always remember Chuck saying to people all the time, because they would come up to him and they'd say, "Boss, we love you, man. You do so." He would always say, "Son, without you, there's no me." I'm like, what? You know, hey, baby, without you, there's no me. But, you know, now in hindsight, looking back, I'm like, he's telling the absolute truth.
Right.
You know, this is just a building, a beautiful one, with beautiful chairs, but without the people, it's nothing but a building with tables and chairs. Right? That's it. You know?
Word.
And not only that, but you have to pass probably 100 buildings just like it.
Yeah.
With similar tables and chairs to come to this one. So the fact that you came through my door makes me feel like without you, there's no me. Because if everybody decided to stop coming, and they do, you know, something new may open up on the corner. You know, these folks may take your idea across town and give it a different name and run it. You know, all kinds of stuff happen. You know, but like you say, this is a customer. It's everything. Listen, I want to hit a home run every time you come through the door. On a couple of different levels. You know, I want the service to be a home run. I want the product. And man, the game is to be sold, man.
Yeah.
I want the product to hit a home run, and then I want to hit a home run personally. When you come here, a third of the reason that you come here has got to be because of Sam. Because this is the only. I'm the exclusive thing. You know what I'm saying? You can't go anywhere else and get that.
Right.
You know, you can go somewhere else and get hot wings. There's probably better out there. Who knows? You can go somewhere else and get beer. Somebody probably has a cola. But what you can't get
is another Sam Johnson.
You can't get me. But just like if you had a place, you know, just like this podcast, you know, there's probably millions of them out there. The reason your listeners come to this one
Mm-hmm.
is because of you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So every time you get on your podcast, your goal, I'm assuming,
Yeah.
is to hit a home run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every time. The same here. You know, every time we open the door, I have to hit a home run. Be it the programming, be it the service, be it whatever. And if anything is not at 100%, I stand a chance of you not coming back. I do.
Yeah.
You know, and the Ebony Club taught me that.
Mhm.
I'm telling you. You know, we hadn't talked about the Ebony Club, but
Let's let's talk about that because again we've been talking this time and we've been talking about we're here at Envy Entertainment and Restaurant and then we also talked about celebrities as well, and then we talk about and every time I think about the Ebony Club now, and again, you know what I'm saying, with the branding, the Almighty, you know what I'm saying, Ebony Club. You know, so it's not the Ebony Club, it's like the Almighty Ebony Club. A lot of history, you know what I'm saying? A lot of history there. You know,
big shoes to fill.
and a lot more history, you know what I'm saying, to come. So, you know, the good, bad, and the ugly, you know what I'm saying? For those that don't know, you know, because you started at Celebrities, and then was it then to the Ebony Club, or was there something after that in between?
No, I went. I started at Celebrities again, you know, and before Chuck passed, we had sat down and had a conversation about him, you know, because that was his baby. You know, the Ebony Club was his first place.
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah, that's what he wanted.
How long has, you know what I'm saying, Celebrities and then the Ebony Club, like how long have some of these clubs been here?
You know, Boss used to joke to me and say all the time, you know, man, I got clubs older than you. Which I'm 36, so I'm going to assume the Ebony Club has been around a lot longer. I'm going to say it's the better part of 40 years ago. Wow. I'm going to say the better part of 40 years ago. And you say the Mighty Ebony, you know, we were out there working, and you know, while Boss was redoing and remodeling the club, I was at Celebrities. You know, so, you know, and there was a time he wasn't coming to Celebrities because he was working there. You know, so we would try to talk on the phone at least once a day.
Right.
You know, so he got his phone hooked up, phone line.
Yeah.
I'm so happy, man. We got a phone line. We got a phone line. You know? Because at the last time that he was at the Ebony Club, all they had was a payphone. He didn't have no phone line. He had a payphone where you put quarters in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he had him a phone line hooked up. So he called me on my cell phone.
Yeah.
And said, call this number. And I'm like, who is it? He was like, man, just call the number and see who it is, and then call me back and tell me who it was. So I called the number, he answered the phone. It's the Mighty Ebony. I'm like, God damn, Charlie. He said, it's the Mighty
That's
Ebony.
what's up, yeah.
I said, the Mighty Ebony, huh, Charlie? He said, yeah, man. He said, you wouldn't believe some of the things that this club has done. You know, at one time, I mean, anybody that came through Huntsville in this market,
Yeah.
you know, they played on the Ebony stage. You know, from Little Milton to Johnny Taylor to, you know, Lil Wayne, Master P. I mean, you name it.
Right.
You know, anybody and everybody that came through this city came there.
Came to the
You
Ebony.
know, it was something to say, I played the Ebony Club.
Yeah.
I played the Ebony Club, you know, so it was definitely the Mighty Ebony, you know, and still is.
Absolutely.
You know, it still is, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely want to, you know, because there's so much, you know, that we could talk about, and there's so much history. But what I want our listeners, our viewers, and people to, you know, to get from this is, again, you've created these experiences and these opportunities, you know, for a minute. And to, again, you know, to come out, you know, if you've never been out to a Sam Johnson event, if you've never been out to the Envy Entertainment, or if you've never been to the Ebony Club, look out for some of these. Or if you look at, also, that's the other thing before, because I want to make sure I don't miss it. For the young professionals that are out here, for the businesses, for the people that with these brands, one thing, let's talk about how beneficial it is for some of these brands or businesses to to get with you or to book an event or to sort of create an experience, to again think outside the box, to whereas they may not necessarily see the connection or see the benefit of doing something like that, and how is it working with you? Like, how can businesses, what is that benefit of a business or a young entrepreneur to to partner with you to create an event or to create something to not only propel their business but to build their network and their brand, so to speak?
You're absolutely right. Two ways.
Mm-hmm.
The first way is, of course, I've got two beautiful facilities,
Mm-hmm.
within my scope,
Mm-hmm.
that can hold anything. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? From 10 people
Mm-hmm.
to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if anyone's ever looking to do something, and the first thing I say is, I guarantee you we can make it work.
Right.
I promise. So event space, venue space, whatever the case may be, hair shows, car shows,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, through one way or another, we can definitely make that shape.
Mm.
The second thing that I'm finding, that I'm using the most, is through co-branding.
Mm.
We don't realize how simple yet powerful a co-brand is.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to, and this is going to be a shameless plug, but we're getting ready to do our inaugural sneaker ball.
Yeah.
Here at Envy. I'm getting an opportunity to work with Keisha Baylor.
Yeah.
And this is really being a blessing.
Yeah.
Tickets are selling. And even that event,
Mm-hmm.
this room that we're in right now, the White Room, that night will be a vendor site.
Yeah.
We'll have Thrive.
Okay. Yeah.
Will be here.
Yeah.
Doing, with some things. And forgive me, Keisha will probably kill me because I was listening, I promise. But so many things in my head. But even this room that night will be a great opportunity.
Yeah.
If you're a vendor, if you have products, if you have music, whatever, paintings,
If
pictures,
you're a business,
toys,
if you are
soaps,
selling
cameras,
something,
anything.
Yeah.
What we're trying to do, listen, my goal is to put as many people like me
Mm-hmm.
in that room
Mm.
that night. People who will support.
Right.
I'm not wealthy, but if I see something and I like it, I'll buy it.
Let me tell you, and now that brings me to one point, the benefit of a business, partnering with you, to expand, and to meet, network, because again, people that are in the business or even the service industry, by them partnering with you, one of those times that I saw the benefit of that, just from the ground up, so to speak, was at the industry night. With industry night, what you were doing with that was, allowing, businesses or industries, products, people to come in, talk about their business, get their business promoted, cross promote. And one of the, I guess I would say, success stories that I saw from that was Thrifting Prevails. And this young lady, you guys make sure y'all check out Thrifting Prevails.
Yes.
But this young lady, came in this very room that we're in right now, brought her business in, and man, it was her. I think it was her. I don't know if it was, but in my mind, it was her first event. Very first event.
I think it was.
And
Yeah.
she set up. First of all, for her first event, she had a really great setup. She was ready. She was excited, and she set everything up. Nobody knew how this was going to turn out for her, and I'm sure she didn't know. In her mind, she maybe thought about it, but she showed up, and man, she was selling out. She was selling so much, making so. And I came back to check on her, and she's like, man, I'm creating all these different. People are talking about it. I'm meeting people, and I'm selling. And she did really, really successful at industry night. By partnering herself with you and all these different businesses that have come through and partnered themselves by bringing their brand or their business to your facility. And again, it's an event space or event opportunity to do business. So when people, again, like you said, now I'm thinking about it. That just shows how forward thinking you are. Like now I'm getting to the point to where I'm like, I don't even like the word club, because again, you say that and then a business thinks smoke, drinks, fights, whatever. as opposed to an event experience or event opportunity, event space, to be somewhere to promote their business. So for those that are interested, for businesses, for entrepreneurs that are looking to expand their brand, or just somewhere to introduce their brand or to do business, so to speak, and to enhance, that's the word I was looking for. I'm looking for something fancy, but to enhance their brand, how can they get in contact with you to say, you know what, man, I want to do something to get my brand out there, to get my business out there, to grow my customer base, and I think I can do that with you. How do they get in contact with you?
I'm gonna suggest that probably the easiest thing to do is to, hey, let's connect on Facebook. I've got a couple of Facebook pages, Sam Johnson.
Yeah.
Let's connect on Facebook. I think that's a great platform.
Right.
A lot of times, I'll meet someone and we'll connect, even if we don't hit it right away.
Yeah.
It keeps, now I'm seeing you every day.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping an idea of what you got going on. You
Yeah.
can kind of see what I've got going on.
Yeah.
And eventually it's gonna, I'm getting ready to put together, I'm getting ready to put together cooking. I'm getting ready to put together a cooking show.
All right, y'all hearing it live right here on In Tune with T Mill.
I promise you, you are the you are one of the few that know this concept outside of the individuals that are actually working it together.
Of course, yeah.
But it's been, but it's like some of the most, but again, and what's crazy is the individuals that I'm working with, I would see them cooking, but it was never on, I'm a chef, I'm a this. You would least expect these people to be cooking. You're like, this guy cooks? I'm like, man, you didn't cook that food last night. And he's like, bro, I did.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? And I'm like, whoa. But I'm like, yo, just to think, you would be surprised who cooks. Right? You're like, you would be surprised who cooks.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, but my point is, but that came from just simply being Facebook friends. You would, and what he said to me was, who would have thought me just posting my pictures on my plates for dinner would lead to somebody reaching out to me saying, hey man, I got this idea, and scratch the word cooking show, because it's not a cooking show. I said that was a reflection. Cooking is a part of it. Yeah. But it's more about individuals who happen to cook.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So so we're working that. So what I would suggest is, man, let's connect on Facebook first. And then, email sampromotes@iCloud.
Okay.
That was my email address. Or, better yet, stop by Envy.
Stop by Envy. You know what I'm saying?
Restaurant.
Stop by Envy Entertainment
Buy me
Restaurant.
a beer, man.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Buy me a beer.
Yeah.
I like beer.
Stop in, Stop in, have a drink. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Talk, politic, work it out. You know what I'm saying? As he said before, there's a way to work it out. You know what I'm saying? There's a way to get it done. And again, notice I said there's a way to get it done. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be willing to get it done. And I definitely want to thank you for the opportunities, the experiences that you're bringing, the example that you're leaving, for entrepreneurs or for people that are trying to get into, not even necessarily get into the business, but for just people to say, okay, this is somewhere where I can meet people, or somewhere where I can, relax and again, have a good time and to remember where you were. There's so many great things that, a lot of great nights, that I can remember at the Ebony Club. Yes. A lot of great nights that I can remember at Envy. You know what I'm saying? And again, and you're right, because again, I go to certain places because. And again, being in the service industry, people might forget, what they were doing, or this, that, and the other, or all these different things that may not necessarily matter, but they don't forget how you made them feel. They don't forget how they felt that night, at the Ebony Club. And then they're going to, it's kind of like, a drug dealer, they're going to keep going back for that fix. It's like, I felt on top of the world that one night, so they're going to keep going back. So I really appreciate it, man.
Now,
Absolutely.
Let me just one last thing. I got to, listen, man. The Ebony Club. That's my passion.
Yeah.
I'm 3.5 years in out there. It's not been easy. It's been a learning process. You know, I say if I had known 3 years ago what I know now, where would I be?
Right.
You know, but I thank God for the 3 years. But I want to say though, you know, coming up this weekend, I'm relaunching Ebony Club for the second time. You know, it was crazy because I'm launching it how I originally envisioned it to be. You know, I always, for some crazy reason, I always thought that it would be really cool to have a late night arcade option. You know, again, club's a 4-letter word with me.
Yeah,
I don't club.
Yeah.
I don't club. I just don't club, you know. And if I do club, I'm going there for a purpose.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15 minutes, then I'm getting away.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're relaunching the Ebony Club, you know, as an arcade, late night arcade, hookah lounge.
That's dope.
Yeah, you know.
Wait a second, Sam, I got to interject. So what you're saying is I can come in Ebony Club, say about 11:30, 12, 1, and I can play Street Fighter 2?
You can play Mortal Kombat. You can play Miss Pac-Man. And
Up, down, left,
yeah.
right. I still remember the code.
Right.
Listen, you know, and what was crazy is, you know, and originally, when we sat down, and I'm like, you know, boss man, he's like, man, I want to open the Ebony Club. I'm like, look, man, you need to open up an arcade.
Yeah.
No, man, nobody gonna play no games. I'm like, you would be surprised.
Yes,
what
a lot.
people would do. And to me, that gives you a reason to come there.
Right.
Right? It gives you a reason. Again, you can get wings, you can get drinks, you can get that anywhere. But I'm just thinking, what if I could have arcade games as an option? I've got the food as an option. I've got the all-night option. So if I don't get off of work until 2 o'clock, you know, it's not too late for me to grab a beer and have some wings.
Yep.
You know, or if I work, you know, if I work in a bar, or in a nightclub, when my shift ends, now I have an opportunity to go somewhere. But it doesn't. But we're gonna open at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not a 2 o'clock in the morning thing. You know, whenever.
Yeah.
You know, but what I'm saying is that's definitely something that's gonna be.
That's gonna be crazy.
You know, I'm begging and
that's
pleading.
the weekend.
That's innocent, man. I love Envy. You know, this is a great venue.
Yeah.
You know, it's doing really well. We've got some major things coming.
Yeah.
Big show announcements, new nights, new whatever. Like you said, plug and plays on the way back. Sneaker ball.
Sneaker
Got
ball.
all kinds
Sneaker
of stuff
ball,
coming
y'all.
up, man. So stay tuned. But, you know, regardless of what you've heard, I'm going to go on a limb and say regardless of what experience you may have had at the Ebony Club, you know, prior to, you know, my tenure there, I'm asking, you know, give it an opportunity. Because one thing I tell people all the time, I'm the same guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the same guy here as I am there. And I'm the same guy there. So if you feel comfortable here, I guarantee you, because I am who I am.
Yeah.
So if I'm not going to put myself in a situation, an environment where I'm not comfortable, where it's not safe, and things like that. So that's my, you know, so starting this Friday, stay tuned, man. I'm calling it Puff and Play. You know,
Puff and Play.
I'm stuck on it, man. I love it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Calling it Puff and Play. You know
Puff and Play,
I got
plug
some
and play. You know what I'm talking about?
people going in, and again, this is, they say, you know, nothing to do in Huntsville, no new options.
Nobody can say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the last thing that I want to hear from. There may have been, and even at that time, I could understand where people, because they just didn't know before the internet. You know, if there was no Facebook, Instagram, whatever, maybe you could say that. But nowadays, when you got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all these different things, there's a lot to do in Huntsville. I mean, there's so much to do, not only in Huntsville, but, you know what I'm saying, out at the Ebony Club. So there's a lot to do. So don't come with those excuses like, ain't nothing to do or whatever. You just born. That's all that is. So, but I definitely want to thank our guests, you know what I'm saying, and thank you, Sam. Really appreciate it, man. Like, just everything, you know what I'm saying, for what you're doing. And again, I challenge people to get with you, to the businesses that are out there. If you're listening now or if you're watching on Facebook Live, if you have a question, if we didn't answer your question, no matter what it is, make sure you drop it in the comments and we'll get it to them.
T-Mill, you got a question on here.
Okay.
And it says, Dear Sam, would you actually try to challenge Marcus Sims in a game of Mortal Kombat? He's really nice.
That's an awesome question.
Hey, listen, I'm a computer, man. Hey, if you want to have a spitting contest, it doesn't matter to me. Whatever you want to do, I want that life, man. Hey, Tim, thank you, man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
For giving me an opportunity, man. We got so much more.
Absolutely. This ain't gonna be the first. This ain't gonna be the last one.
Sunday.
Yeah.
There's so much more out there, man, that we can talk about, man. Thank you, man. Just pray for me, man.
Yeah, man.
Keep me in your prayers, and I'm praying for you and your family, and you as well, Marcus.
Yeah, man.
Let's just stay real, stay loyal.
Yeah, man.
And they say, man, stay down until we come up, man.
Yes, sir. That's what's up, man.
Listen.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate y'all watching. Make sure y'all follow this man. Make sure y'all get in contact, do some business with this man. And we'll see you again on the next episode of In Tune with T Mill. We out.
Good, man.
I'm assuming it's supposed to hit ending.